This week's Bushel Up, post Memorial Day here, Tuesday after Memorial Day. Hope you had a great weekend, maybe a little time to spend with family and reflect on those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So we thank everybody for your service, and I know of a couple of you that have lost family members overseas in wars, and we thank you for that, and our hearts go out to you. A lot of stuff starts to happen after Memorial Day. Things really speed up here in our crop world. Looking at the roar corn here, we're at 1-2, getting into that V3 stage. Very important critical stage for corn. It's when we start transitioning from our in furrow. We had our original seed that supported that plant. Now we're moving into that root system. And you can see from digging roots, I always say however tall your plant is, you got about half to 2/3 of that in root mass below. So most of our roots are still operating in that top 4 to 6 inches as we transition into that zone. So side dress applications, we really want to make sure we have good fertility out there. Be watching for fields if they're starting to turn yellow on you. With all the rainfall we've had, it's very possible that we've leached that nitrogen below the root zone. If it was applied very early, if it was applied without stabilizer. So be watching that corn. If we see it flash yellow, typically we may not catch up to that nitrogen. We may need a second application, maybe a foliar, a nitrogen product, maybe looking at some side dress, quick side dress trip to get that plant going. Also very critical stage as we go into determining rows around in our corn plant, typically around that V5 to V7 stage. So this corn's still got about a week before we start entering into that, but that's where we like to push the envelope a little bit if we've got a good stand, good looking field, something that we want to try to create a little extra yield. Hit it with a PGR, hit it with a micronutrient pack. We really like micronutrient packs on corn. Those that contain nitrogen, sulfur, our crude product, a little bit of iron, get some zinc. Corn is very responsive to those nutrients at this small stage, so be looking at that. Most importantly, the herbicide applications. Most of our pre's have been on the earlier planted corn, that early window. We're going way past that 35-day into that 40-day range, which is way longer than they deserve to work, but they've held in there pretty good. But we need to get those overlapping residuals. The later planted corn, we're starting to hit that 20-25-day window. So expect the sprayers to be rolling hot and heavy here for the next couple weeks, trying to get everything on. I know this is when things go in fast motion here for about 2-3 weeks. A lot of stuff to take place in the field. Finally, soybeans, we're seeing the soybeans come along, wide variety of windows. Again, get those herbicides on early. We think about Palmer amaranth. I pulled a Palmer amaranth plant out here that's about 1.5 inches tall, already had 9 growing points on it. They really stack. We're seeing a lot of stacked weeds. They may not be tall, but they're really further developed than what they may appear. A lot of growing points. Be sure to get good coverage, get good surfactant packages in there. Full rates of residual. We like it when we can still see bare ground. The more bare ground we see when we're spraying post, the more residual we can get on the ground, and that leads to better results. And don't forget, we've had plenty of rain, but if you put those out there, they do still need to be activated with some sort of moisture. So if you have a pivot, we don't get rain within 4 to 5 days after those applications, it's time to spin the pivot. 3/4 of an inch, kick those residual herbicides in, make sure we keep fields clean.